Hello friends, welcome to UGC EPG Pathshala. I am Professor Masood Ahsan Siddiqui from Department of Geography, Jamia Millia Islamia. Today we have to discuss about the coordinate systems which are essentials for map making. Coordinate systems, cartography is the specialty that maps the Earth's surface in selected areas on paper. A planimetric map shows locations and features on the surface that is at different heights above or below a reference plane. In their relative positions, they appear as though projected onto an XY, that is horizontal coordinate systems. Each point on the map corresponds to a point on the Earth's surface. These surface points, however, are distributed on the curved surface of the Earth. Thus, to locate the points, it is a must that these points be referenced to a geographic coordinate or grid system. The coordinate systems is defined as a frame of reference in which geometrical positions of points, objects can uniquely be defined. It requires a reference points, a number of independent directions, and a scale definition in each direction. GIS stores the information about the world as a collection of thematic layers that can be linked together with geography. It contains either an explicit geographic reference such as a latitude and longitude or national grid coordinates, or an implicit reference such as an address, postal code, forest identifier or road name. Implicit references can be derived from implicit references using an automated process called geocoding. The locations on the Earth's surface described by points, lines and polygons which are defined by a series of XY coordinates. Coordinate systems can be self-described or in units that relate to the real world. Decimal degrees, that is degrees, minutes and seconds, meters and feet are all examples of units of measures in a coordinate system. The coordinate system must be consistent between map layers. For any database to be useful for spatial analysis, the database must be registered to a recognized global coordinate system. A coordinate system consists of a spheroid and a map projection. In order to perform spatial associations, entities must be referenced in a common coordinate system. Their selection is based on the specific requirement and the level of accuracy required. Consequently, there are hundreds of coordinate systems in common use based on a variety of geodetic datum units, projections and reference systems, and each of these has valid justification. What prevents the establishment of a standard coordinate system for use in GIS is that the most useful coordinate systems are orthogonal, that is composed of axes that cross at right angles and units that are equal in all parts of the grid. Yet the Earth is round and must be flattened to fit into an orthogonal coordinate system. There are many methods, projections what we call, for making flat orthogonal representations of the Earth, but no single method is suitable for the entire Earth. The coordinate systems may be put into three broad categories. These are: number 1, geographical coordinates; number 2, rectangular coordinates; number 3, non-coordinates. Let us discuss about the geographical coordinates. Geographical coordinates are based on Earth axis of rotation and the plane of equator. Locations on the Earth's surface are represented by latitudes and longitudes. Parallels of latitudes measure angular distance north or south of the equator, ranging from 0 degrees at the equator to 90 degrees at the north and south poles. Meridians of the longitudes are measured angular distance east or west of the prime meridian, which runs through the Royal Observatory in Greenwich, England. The network of meridians and parallels is referred to as the Great Equals. The World Mapping Community in 1884 agreed to use Greenwich Meridian in London as the prime meridian. Lines of latitude lie at right angles to the lines of longitudes and run parallel to each other. The origin of this geographic coordinate system is the intersection of the equator and the prime meridian. Each line of longitude represents a great circle and divides the globe into two equal parts. All the longitudes are known as great circles. A great circle is defined by the intersection of a sphere with the plane passing through the center of the sphere. These are the shortest possible paths on the spherical surface of the earth. The lines of latitude also divide the globe but into unequal parts, except equator, which divides the globe into two equal parts and consequently a great circle. And each has different circumferences, are also known as small circles. An infinite numbers of small circles are possible depending on the position and orientation of the plane relative to the sphere. The World Data Bank has listed the coordinates of the world's coastline, rivers, islands, and political boundaries. These coordinates are in decimals, degrees, and rounded to the nearest 0.001 degree. A degree is an unit of measurement equal to 1 upon 360 of a circle. A degree of latitude is on the Earth's surface is about 69 miles. A degree of longitude is about 69 miles at the equator and undefined at the poles. This way, at equator, 1 degree equals to 111.11 kilometers. Thus, 0.001 degree equals to 111 meters. Rectangular coordinates are Cartesian coordinates. The latitude and longitudes provide a convenient reference system for describing locations on the approximately spherical surface of the Earth. However, it is often difficult to work with latitude and longitudes on a flat map, particularly if we are interested in measuring geometric properties of a feature on the map, such as distances, directions, or areas. To overcome this problem, the French for the first time developed the rectangular coordinate systems during the First World War. It is much easier to work with Cartesian coordinates system on the map. Positions on the map are defined by their XY coordinates or easting and northing. Distances and the directions calculations are simplified since they are now based on right angled triangles rather than on a spherical trigonometry. The Cartesian coordinates systems can be an arbitrary local coordinate system. A local coordinate system is often used for field survey works in which locations are measured relative to some fixed reference points or line. However, it is much more common to base the coordinate systems on a particular map projection. This provides a common frame of reference that allows data from a variety of sources to be integrated in a systematic way. First of all, a spherical surface is transformed to a plane and then an equally spaced rectangular grid is placed over the map. To eliminate the possibilities of repetition of the values and the occurrence of the negative values, the origin of numbering is considered to be outside of the map area in southwestern corner. In the rectangular coordinates, the x value is always written first and called as easting, followed by y values called as northing. The rectangular coordinate systems, grid convergence is the value to be subtracted from a grid bearing as measured from the map to obtain an azimuth calculated from true north. If grid north is west of the true north, and grid convergence is positive. If grid north is east of the true north, grid convergence is negative. The grid magnetic angle is calculated from the magnetic declination and the grid convergence and is the angle between grid north and magnetic north. This value must be subtracted from a grid bearing to obtain a magnetic bearing. The two values are always written in pairs. The rule of the thumb for reading the grid is read right up. It is important that the projection for the grid system should be orthomorphic. The grid is named after the type of projection systems used. The grid system is easy to understand and independent of a scale of the map. These are designed for detailed calculations and positioning. Therefore, accuracy in a feature's absolute position and its relative positions to other features is more important than the preserved property of a map projections. To maintain the level of desired accuracy, the coordinate systems may be divided into different zones based on separate maps, projections. The grid origin coincides with the projection origin. All the countries of the world use rectangular grid coordinates on large scale topographic maps. Many countries use the Universal Transverse Mercator's projections, which is popularly known as UTM, as the frame of the reference for the grid coordinate systems. Some of the popular rectangular coordinate systems are discussed here. Number one is the military grid system, that is known as MGRS. MGRS is a system, an extension of UTM. The UTM zone number and zone characters are used to identify an area of 6 degrees in east and west extent and 8 degrees in north and south extent. It uses a lettering system to reduce the number of digits from isolating a location. The 8-degree rows of areas are designated by letter C, extending from 80 to 72 degrees south and extending far to south at 70 to 84 degrees north. A single rectangle of 6 to 8 degrees generally covers 1000 square kilometer on ground. The squares are referenced by alphabets and numerals. Letters A, B, Y and Z are reserved for the UPS grid system. To locate an object with 6 into 8 grid coordinates, a secondary lettered column and rows are used, applying 10,000 meters square. Starting at the 180 degree meridians and proceeding eastward, the characters A to Z, O and I are omitted, are used for identification. The alphabets are repeated after every 18 degrees and include about 6 full width columns per UTM zone. Towards north from the equator, the characters A to V, omitting O and I, are used. This is shown in figure 4. Northern designators normally begin with A at equator for odd numbered UTM easting zones. For even numbered easting zones, the northern designations are offset by 5 characters starting at equator with F. The characters continue the pattern to the north of the equator. UTM zone numbers, UTM zones and the 200 square kilometer characters are followed by even numbers of numeric characters representing easting and northing values. If 10 numeric characters are used, a precision of 1 meters is assumed. 2 characters imply a precision of 10 kilometers. From 2 to 10, the precision changes from 10 kilometers to 1 kilometers, 100 meters, 10 meters and 1 meter. The polar areas are covered by the UPS grid systems. The second coordinate system is the plane coordinate systems, which is popularly known as SPS or SPCS. It was developed in 1930 by the US Coast and Geodetic Survey to provide common reference system for surveyors and mappers. The goal was to design a conformal mapping system for the country with a maximum scale distortion of 1 part in 10,000, which is at the time was considered the limit of the surveying accuracy. The straight plane coordinate system is used for surveying and engineering applications but is not used if crossing straight lines. This is an XY coordinate system whose zones divide the US into over 130 sections, each with its own projection surface and grid network. This technique ignored the curvature of the earth and assumed it simply a flat plane. It is accurate in terms of linear measurements. The straight plane grid system is very similar to that used with the UTM, with the exception where the origin for the grid is located. The easting origin for each zone is always placed an arbitrary distance, number of feet west of the western boundary of the zone, eliminating the need for negative easting values. The northern origin, however, is not at the equator as in the UTM, but rather it is placed at an arbitrary number of feet south of the state border. It has been designated to have a maximum linear error of 1 in 10,000. This is 4 times as accurate as the UTM systems, whose maximum linear error is 1 is to 2,500. With the exceptions of very narrow states such as New Jersey and New Hampshire, most of the states are divided into 10 zones. The Lambert's conformal projection is used for zone extending mostly in the east-west direction, whereas the transverse Mercator's projection is used for the zones extending mostly in a north-south direction. Alaska, Florida, and New York use both transverse Mercators and Lambert's conformal for different areas. The number of zones in the state is usually determined by the area of a state and ranges from 1 to as many as 10 in Alaska. Each zone has a unique central meridian. The other one is the plane coordinate systems. Once a zone is mapped, a Cartesian coordinate system is created for zone by establishing an origin some distance, usually but not always, 200,000 feet to the west of the zone's central meridian, and some distance. There is no standard for each zone uses its own unique distance to the south of the zone's southernmost point. This ensures that all coordinates within the zone will be positive. The x-axis running through this origin runs east-west and the y-axis runs north-south. Distances from the origin are generally measured in feet. In the beginning, the SPCS was based on North Atlantic datum in 27 but switched to NAD 83. As a result, now it is called as SPC 83. With the change in the measuring units from feet to meter, the coordinate values of the SPC 83 are published in meters. The third one is the national grid system. Many nations have defined their own grid systems based on coordinates. The most popular and significant among them is the British National Grid System. It is based on the National Grid System of England and administered by the British Ordnance Survey. It is a rectangular grid system based on transverse Mercator's projection since 1920 and uses the Great Britain datum 1936 Airy ellipsoid. The grid is 700 to 1300 kilometers covering all of the Great Britain. This is divided into 500 kilometers squares, which in turn are divided into 25 parts of 100 kilometers squares. These are defined by two letters. Each 100 kilometers square is divided into 10 parts, 10 into 10, and the 10 kilometer squares are divided into 100 squares. The grid references are commonly given in 6 figures preferred by letters denoting 100 squares. The true origin of the system is at 49 degree north latitude and 2 degrees west longitude, that is shown in figure 6. The false origin is 400 kilometers west and 100 kilometers north. The scale factor at the central meridian is 0.000960. The next grid system of significance for Indian cases is the Indian grid system. The Indian system has 8 grid zones designated as 0, 1, 2A, 2B, 3A, 3B, 4A, and 4B based on Lambert's conical orthomorphic projection with 2 standard parallels covering India, Pakistan, Burma, Afghanistan, and parts of Iran, Asiatic Russia, China, Tibet, and Thailand. Each zone has a belt of 80 degree latitude. The false origin for all the zones except zone 0 is 3 lakh yards easting and 1 lakh yards northing. For the grid 0, the easting and the northing is 2,35,000 and 259,000 yards respectively. The grid lines are drawn at 1000 degree grid yards apart on 1 inch to 1 mile and larger. Whereas on 1 inch to 4 miles and smaller, the grid lines are 10,000 grid yards. With the change in the measuring units from yards to meters, the same values are read as meters. As the topographical maps of India are prepared on polyconic projection and not on the Lambert's projection, a small error occurs. As a result, the grid squares are not perfect squares. On the Indian maps, the grids are printed in purple color. The grid letters are printed near the 4 corners of the topographical sheet. The primary letter is smaller than the secondary letter that is shown in figure 7A, B, C, and so on. The third one is the non-coordinate systems. There are many other coordinate systems termed as non-coordinates. These provide special references using a descriptive code rather than a coordinates. Some of them are standardized, but many are not. The popular non-coordinate systems are postal codes, AT and TV, and H coordinate systems, navigation coordinate systems, maidenhead grid squares for geographical position of amateur radio community. Matrices and bounds identifies the boundaries of the land parcels by describing length and directions of lines. Public land, rectangular surveys, that is used for identification of public land in USA, etc. The postal index number in India are the typical examples of non-coordinate systems. Now let us talk about the coordinate transformation. System acquires and handles data from different sources which have been prepared on a variety of coordinate systems. A digitized map is measured in the same measurement unit as the source map, but before using it is in GIS project, the designated maps must be converted to the real world coordinates such as UTM. It helps in making such data comparable and useful in overlay operations and mosaicing. The coordinate transformations techniques are also helpful in removing geometric distortions with respect to accuracy, position features. Coordinate transformation is often needed to express one geometric data set in the coordinate system of another, but there arises a problem. If the coordinate systems of one of the data sets is unknown, in such a situation, we can begin with finding features on the foreign map that we know represent the same features on the standard coordinate system. The common points are called as control points. By choosing one control point, the unknown geometry could be transformed in a way that the entire coordinate system shifts, making the coordinates of one point the same, but probably failing to match anything else. In case of two defined control points, a coordinate transformation is specified, whereby the foreign coordinate system is shifted, scaled, rotated, such that a line on the foreign system matches with a line in the GIS. Whereas three control points, a triangle from the foreign geometry can be aligned to a triangle in the GIS. This may involve scaling or sharing the foreign geometry, effectively scaling x by a factor different than y. It either converts the coordinate system of the spatial data or changes the relative locations of the feature in the same coordinate system by adjusting through shifting, rotation, etc. In other words, there are two ways to look at coordinate transformation, that is, either move objects on a fixed coordinate system so that the coordinates change diagram, or hold the objects fixed and move the coordinate system. The transformation of coordinate involves 7 transformation parameters, 3 translations due to shift of the origin, 3 rotations due to change in orientation, and a scale factor due to different dimensions of the 2 reference ellipsoids. These transformations parameters must be estimated using coordinates of the several well-distributed stations in both the systems in order to obtain the geodetic coordinates in local reference systems. Based on the nature of the relationship between the coordinate systems, 2 methods of transformations are considered. These are polynomial transformation and exact transformations. If the relationship between the coordinate system is derived through the control points in both the coordinate systems, it is termed as polynomial transformation. The typical polynomial transformation is the affine transformation. It involves identification of control points on both the systems, and after transformations, the straight lines remain straight, parallel lines remain parallel, and the angles go slight changes, and the process is capable of performing rotation, translation, skew, differential scaling operations on the rectangular objects. The typical example of this kind of transformation is that circles may be transformed into an ellipse. A common application of affine transformation is to translate the coordinates of the horizontal map in digitizer units to those in the real world coordinate systems of the map. Affine transformation is also used frequently in rectification of satellite imageries to ground truth. Rotation rotates its x and y axis from origin, that is, the origin is fixed while axis move rotate and about origin. Translation shifts the origin to a new location, but axis don't rotate diagrams. Skew changes the shape to a palleogram with slanted directions, and differential scaling changes the scale by expansion or reduction in the x and y directions. That is, both origin and axes are fixed, whereas scale changes, which is shown in figure 8. The number of control points depend on the degree of polynomial, but the number should not be less than 3. It is advised that the control points should be well distributed over the region. The affine transformation and its operations are first applied to the control points. All the GIS packages offer both affine and projective transformations methods, but they are being used for different purposes. For example, the affine transformation is generally used on digital maps and satellite images, whereas projective transformation is used on the aerial photographs with displacement. If the relationship could be expressed in terms of mathematical form, it is called as exact transformation. It has been divided into two categories, that is, projective and planar transformations. The projective transformation is a three-dimensional space to a two-dimensional space. It applies the concept of map projection for transforming the three-dimensional surface. It allows angular and length distortions, thus allowing the rectangle to be transformed into an irregular quadrilateral. Hence, it can be used to relate two coordinate systems defined into different map projections over a small area. The typical example of projective transformation are geodetic to polyconic projection, geodetic to UTM, etc. A planar transformation, the coordinate from one planar system to the other planar system. It is applicable if the two coordinate systems have known orientation and transitional shift. That is shown in figure 9, the geometric transformations. Another important thing is that assessment of the root mean square error. Root mean square error of the fit. It is an affine transformation and performed with more than 3 control points. A separate affine transformation can be attempted using all the possible triplets. Then an average can be made that maximizes the fit of all the points. It is in fact an error that reports shows which points are not so cooperative to being realigned satisfactorily with the affine transformation. A good transformation interface will return root mean squared error for each of the points. This RMS error is an estimation of the error for the particular point, assuming that the calculated transformation is the correct one. It must be remembered that the RMS error should be within a tolerance limit of less than 0.3. Another point for discussion is that high order transformation, which is being called RAPS. An affine transformation can distort a planar coordinate system in all ways that preserves parallel lines, whereas higher order transformation maintain the earth curvature to a great extent. In other words, higher polynomial order will lead to more accuracy transformation. It has been observed that generally a large number of control points are selected, and the highest order of transformation is used to get the best fit for all of the selected points. Thank you very much for watching this program. Once again, thanks.